Colleagues, welcome to our lecture today. This is part 2 of section or departmental accounts that we started a week ago. Last week we looked at the format T of section accounts or departmental accounts. Today I want us to touch some figures or attach some figures to our question, and we solve it together. So I have a question behind me here that we are going to solve together. So allow me to read so that we are able to solve. The question reads, Frederick Chabu had a business with 3 sections, namely carpentry, metal fabrication, and tailoring. The following was extracted for the year ended 31st December 2023. So this information was extracted for the trading, trading and transactions for last year, 2023. So we have carpentry here, we have metal fabrication, we have tailoring. Inventory at 001.01 2023, carpentry at 120,690, metal fabrication at 102,342, tailoring at 78,530. Rent, carpentry at 5,200, metal fabrication 5,000, tailoring at 2,100. Telephone, carpentry 1,500, metal fabrication 1,500, tailoring 500. Transport, carpentry 6,000, metal fabrication 3,100, and tailoring 500. Electricity 4,800, apportion in the following ratio. It's 2 to 1 to 1. Okay? And then we have inventory at 31st December 2023, 70,000 for carpentry, 61,900 for metal fabrication, 3,600 for tailoring. Then we have purchases. We have 19,420 for carpentry, 8,100 for metal fabrication, and 3,600 for tailoring. Sales, we have 394,680 for carpentry, 300,000 for metal fabrication, 167,920 for tailoring. Required, prepare section or departmental accounts for the year ended 31st December 2023. So we are preparing an income statement according to these sections: carpentry, metal fabrication, and tailoring. Allow me to rub this information. Let us keep it in our minds. We rub this information so that we start solving. Okay, I'm now clearing. Let's hope I'm not rubbing from your brains. Okay, so what we need to do before we start, this is an income statement. Let me put an emphasis. This is an income statement for departmental or sections of the business for Mr. Chabu. Okay, so I'll write income statement I will not put all the details, but just straight go to work. So we have 3 sections. The first one is tailoring. I'll write my tailoring here. Then I'll leave a space here and put my metal fabrication here. Okay, leave a space here and put my carpentry here. Alright, you know that every income statement starts with the sales. So in this case, I'll go straight to our sales. Sales there. If you remember very well, our sales was as follows. We had the 394,680 for carpentry. So we had the sales, we had the 394,680 for carpentry, and then we had the 300,000 for metal fabrication. Again, our last section or our last department, sales had 167,920. Okay, so these are the figures for sales for the 3 departments. Then in our question, there was no returns in. Okay, so you know the formatting for income statement. So we go straight to the next item. The next item will be our opening inventory. So this is inventory as at 1 January 2023. Okay, I'm not going to put these figures directly here. Why? Because we have some adjustments that we need to make. So the first inventory for carpentry, I'll put it here. We have 123,690. I've written it here so that it gives me space for adjustments. Then for metal fabrication, it will come here. Okay, so it was 102,000. It was 102,342. Okay, and for metal fabrication, it will come here. Okay, metal fabrication, it was 78,530. Okay, the next item which comes to sales are the purchases. So in this case, we are adding the purchases. Okay, we are adding the purchases. The purchases for carpentry, we had 19,420. That was the purchases for carpentry. Then the purchases for metal fabrication was 8,100. Okay, the purchases for tailoring was 3,600. Okay, there are no adjustments on these, so you add them. Okay, if I can do my addition first, here I'm getting 144,140 110. Okay? Then there, when we do our addition, I'm getting 110,442. Okay? The last one here, I'm getting 82,130. Okay? Then to this, don't forget that there's closing inventory. The inventory which was down here, which was written 31st December 2023. So we have to less that one, we have to subtract. So here we write less inventory. Okay, in the bracket 31st December 23. Okay, this is the closing inventory for the year. This was the opening inventory for the year. Okay, so closing inventory for the year, carpentry we had 70,000. Okay, then metal fabrication we had 61,900. Then for tailoring, the closing inventory was 43,300. So let us do our subtraction, and the figure that we are going to get from our subtraction will come here, will come there, and here. So when we say 144,110 minus 70,000, the answer that I'm getting is 74,000. It comes there. 74,110. When I subtract 110,442 minus 61,900, what I'm getting is 48,000. Yeah, 48,542. Okay. When I do my calculations here, 83,130 minus 43,300, what I get is 38,830. 38,830. Okay. These figures, 1, 2, 3, these are called the cost of sales. Okay. So the cost of sales will always act on the sales. Why? Because these are the expenditure that enabled the company or enabled you to have the total sales. As a result, we are supposed to less them, we subtract them. Okay? So when we do our subtraction, for carpentry, 394,680 minus 74,000, what I'm getting is 320,000. Okay, 320,570. This is for carpentry. Let us subtract for metal fabrication. 300,000 minus 48,542. I am getting 251,000. 251,458. Okay. Let us do our subtraction here. 167,920 minus 38,380. I'm getting 129,090. These figures, because we have subtracted from the total sales, these are giving us a figure called gross profit. So this is in gross profit. So gross profit for carpentry will be 320,510. For metal fabrication, 251,458. For tailoring, 129,090. Once we reach the gross profit level, now we have to take charge of the expenses that the business incurred. So we are going to say less expenses. Okay, the expenses are straightforward. Okay, we had rent. This one is rent. Rent for carpentry will come here. I'll add all the expenses, then subtract from the gross profit. Even here, it will be the same. Even there, it will be the same. So rent for carpentry are 5,200. Okay. Then the rent for metal fabrication was 5,000 flat. Rent for tailoring was 2,100. Okay. The next expense was transport. Transport for carpentry was 6,000. This was the biggest. The transport for metal fabrication was 3,100. Transport for tailoring was 500. The next expense was telephone. Telephone for carpentry, we had 1,500. Okay. Then the telephone for metal fabrication again was 1,500. Telephone bill for tailoring was 500. The last expense is electricity. Don't forget that electricity was to be apportioned. The ratio was given on how to apportion. So the figure for electricity was 4,800. Then we are told to apportion. Okay, the ratio was 2 to 1 to 1. Okay, since my space is very small, I've done the calculation already. So here is 2,400. There it will be 1,200. And here 1,200. Okay, so our expenses are completely taken care of. So we need to add now. We need to add all these expenses. That is for carpentry, these expenses for metal fabrication, and the last expenses for tailoring. So when I add, this one is 11,200. That will be 13,700. plus 2,400 gives me 15,100. It comes here. Okay. When I come this way, this is 8,100. 8,100 plus 1,500. It gives me 9,600 plus 1,200. It gives me 10,800. Okay. We come to the total expenses from tailoring. We have 2,100 plus 500. It will be 2,600 plus 500. It will be 3,100 plus 1,200. It gives us 4,300. These are called total expenses. So total expenses must be subtracted from the gross profit. So you less from the gross profit. Okay? So this is the gross profit less the total expenses. So in this case, for carpentry, the gross profit is 320,570 minus 15,100. We are getting 305,470. Okay? Then we come to metal fabrication. We have 251,458. This is the gross profit minus 10,800. We are getting 240,658. 240,658. So we come to the last department, which is tailoring. We have 129,090 minus 4,300. We are getting 123,000. 123,790. Okay. Since we have removed the total expenses from the gross profit, then the figures that we have gotten for the three departments are called the net profits. So, the net profit for carpentry is 305,470. The net profit for metal fabrication is 240,658. The net profit for tailoring is 123,790. So you can see the way what we have done. This is the way you prepare an income statement for section accounts or departmental accounts. Thank you so much for listening. See you in the next video.